Joe Rogan just pulled back the curtain on what might be the biggest con in boxing history. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. Jake Paul's hyped-up showdown with Mike Tyson? It was faker than a scripted reality TV moment. Here's the jaw-dropping twist. Mike Tyson, the same man whose opponents used to tremble before the opening bell, was reportedly pressured into throwing the fight. That's right. A 58-year-old boxing legend allegedly had to hold back for some shady reasons. Also, Jake Paul, arguably the most overrated YouTuber turned boxer, could parade around like he accomplished something real.
This was not something for some charity. No. Oh, we're going to do this. And Jake Paul, they asked Jake Paul, did he take his foot off the gas? Stephen A., this is what he said. Yeah, definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Joe Rogan isn't holding back anymore. He's putting the so-called circus act on blast. And let's be honest, he's saying what we're all thinking. Mike Tyson fans? Oh, they're furious. And they have every right to be. Think about it. We were all riding the wave of excitement, thrilled to see Iron Mike back in action. It felt like the ultimate comeback story. But now, we're left swallowing a hard dose of reality, choking on our humble pie as we realize just how far off the mark we really were.
That Jake Paul is a YouTube guy and watch him box.
Yeah.
The kid can fight, 100%. And that Tommy Fury fight really showed that. I mean, it goes to a split decision against a legit undefeated boxer.
Yeah. He doesn't, I'll tell you what, the one thing he doesn't want to do is fight Mike.
No.
He wants to fight Mike, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't give a if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
He was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time.
Before diving into what really went down, let's break it down with Joe Rogan's take. He didn't mince words. If this were prime Tyson, Jake wouldn't even make it to the second round bell. Rogan even brought up Tyson's infamous fight against Marvis Frazier. That wasn't a fight, it was an execution, he said, shaking his head as if baffled anyone would even entertain the idea of Jake standing a chance. Sure, Tyson at 58 isn't the same as his prime self, but Rogan still wasn't buying into Jake's chances. The guy's eating raw meat and sweating through interviews like he's preparing for the end of the world. He's still terrifying, Rogan remarked. And Jake? Rogan imagined him nervously Googling how to back out of a fight without looking like a coward. Even with Tyson decades past his prime, Rogan likened this matchup to a lion against a house cat. Jake might think he's a big deal, but as Rogan put it, Tyson's crushed multiple men for fun. Good luck with that, Jake.
So we had Mike Tyson in when he was 300 pounds. And he was just eating and having fun and smoking weed. He goes, I don't even work out. He goes, if I work out, it'll excite myself. It'll excite my ego. And then I don't like that person. So he just decided that he was just going to be chill Mike Tyson. And then he got this offer to fight Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So he gets in insane shape. And the next time I see him, the second podcast we do, Mike now weighs 230 pounds.
Mike Tyson, the man, the myth, the table-destroying legend. According to Joe Rogan, there's a dark, untamed corner in Tyson's mind, and it seems to be wide open. Rogan even redesigned his podcast table after hosting Tyson. Why? Because sitting across from a 300-pound Tyson, casually snacking and smoking, had Rogan seriously rethinking his life choices. When Tyson confessed, "I don't work out," he explained it was because exercise stirs up his ego, a side of Tyson the world apparently isn't ready to meet. Fast forward to his fight with Roy Jones Jr., and suddenly, Tyson's back down to 230 pounds of sheer muscle. Rogan admitted he found himself calculating table width purely for survival purposes.
Mike Tyson people talk to. There's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows, and he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
Tyson's fight with Roy Jones Jr. wasn't exactly a slugfest. It felt more like a friendly sparring session with a heavy dose of nostalgia. Joe Rogan is pretty sure they had an unspoken no head punches gentleman's agreement in place. And honestly, it makes sense. Jones isn't built like Tyson, as Rogan puts it. Tyson is a different mass altogether, a human wrecking ball with a dense, terrifying frame. But this Jake Paul matchup? There's no soft punching stipulations here. It's full throttle, all systems go. And word is, Tyson's already breathing like he's gearing up to flatten someone's face all over again.
Speaking of Mike Tyson, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Oh, the sheer audacity of some people. Thinking Jake Paul could actually stand a chance against Mike Tyson? Seriously? Let's unpack this absurdity and set the record straight. First of all, yes, Tyson is 57, almost 58. But let's not pretend that age alone has him down for the count. Sure, his glory days are behind him, and he's taken his fair share of punishment from legends like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. But comparing that to the skill set of an internet-famous boxer, that's not just a reach, it's laughable.
Chance in hell that Jake Paul would survive against the Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight, because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC Wide World.
Let's put this into perspective. George Foreman, at 45, reclaimed the heavyweight title with a knockout so flawlessly timed that it's still studied by boxers today. And Foreman didn't stop there. He kept fighting until he was 48, even giving Shannon the Cannon Briggs a serious run for his money.
Placement and human growth hormone and peptides.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mike Tyson, yeah, he's 57, but he got access to
everything.
Everything.
And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation that I've talked to some people that do that, and it has massive benefits of rehabilitating injuries.
Now let's not forget that this isn't the old school era where fighters had to rely solely on grit and heavy bags. Modern biohacking has changed the game, and Tyson, he's got access to everything. Testosterone replacement therapy, human growth hormone, peptides, you name it, and it's likely in Tyson's arsenal. This isn't your typical 57-year-old who gets winded climbing stairs. This is a scientifically optimized machine, out to prove he's still got it. And then there's the cutting-edge electric stimulation training Tyson's been using. It's not some gimmick. It's a neuromuscular electrical stimulation device that sends targeted impulses to make muscles contract as you work out. Picture doing squats or deadlifts, while a machine jolts your muscles into overdrive. The benefits? Faster recovery, improved blood flow, and even rehab for old injuries. Tyson used this tech to prep for his fight with Roy Jones Jr., and word is it's a key part of his current training regimen.
And Tyson smashing the mitts, like, Jesus, that guy can still fuck you up.
He don't want to fight Mike.
In this world with hormone replacement and vitamins and he does all this electrical muscular stimulation recovery stuff. Like when they were training Mike for that Roy Jones fight, like they were using state-of-the-art.
Here we go, the Logan Paul Appreciation Society in full swing. Yes, Logan Paul, the YouTube star turned wrestling daredevil, is apparently quite skilled at launching himself off ropes like he's auditioning for the next Fast and Furious stunt team. Wild stuff, right? And Jake Paul? Oh, we're supposed to ignore his YouTube origins and just stand in awe of his boxing prowess. Sure, let's conveniently gloss over his split decision loss to Tommy Fury, a legitimately undefeated boxer, but let's be real. Impressive? Maybe. Groundbreaking? Not even close.
Mike Tyson just fucking bobbing and weaving. He's going to have a recognition.
Yeah.
He's going to look over and go, oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like, look at this.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Dude, I'm talking, it's still at 55. And at 55, the power is the last thing to go. But the thing is, the speed is still there.
Yeah.
He's fucking.
Now, let's dive into the Mike Tyson Fantasy League. Picture this, Jake Paul staring across the ring, suddenly realizing it's Mike freaking Tyson. Because sure, what better idea than throwing a 20-something influencer into the same ring as a man who could still shatter rib cages well into his 50s? Tyson, armed with state-of-the-art science, hormone therapies, and enough electrical muscle stimulation to light up a small city, is nothing short of terrifying. But hey, who doesn't love a wildly mismatched spectacle? And then there's Roy Jones Jr., the guy who stepped into the ring with Tyson under what seemed like a please don't hit me in the face agreement. Smart move, really. Yet somehow, Roy still found time to box Anthony Pettis at 54. Why? Because apparently, testing your limits against someone less weathered by a million wars is the kind of nostalgia we all needed. A split decision loss? Sure. But Roy clearly still loves the grind. Nostalgia? Meet questionable decision-making.
Kevin Hart said it best. He goes, it's like being in a room with a lion. Like, even if the lion is like...
Jamie Foxx's little joke is like someone let a pit bull let loose in the room. They don't know whose it is.
And then Jamie's got to play him in a movie, which has got to be terrifying. Like, don't piss that...
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when recalling his second encounter with Mike Tyson. In the middle of the chaos, Jake Paul's name came crashing into the conversation, and the contrast was striking. Their first meeting was all about Tyson staying chill, trying to keep his inner beast at bay. But once Tyson got the call to fight Roy Jones Jr., it was like flipping a switch. His transformation was nothing short of biblical. Suddenly, Tyson was fully back in fight mode, sending a wave of terror through everyone in the room, including Rogan himself. Even the table width? Carefully calculated to provide a safe distance from the legend.
That Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not...
But here's where it gets wild. After Tyson's fight with Roy Jones Jr., Rogan couldn't help but draw a comparison to the rise of, you know who, Jake Paul. Calling himself a boxer, Rogan practically rolled his eyes through the screen. Can you imagine Jake stepping into the ring with someone like Tyson? Forget the table. You'd need a moat. And don't forget Kevin Hart and Jamie Foxx's warnings about being in the same room as Tyson. Jamie Foxx famously joked it's like letting a bull loose and not telling anyone who it is. Rogan? He couldn't agree more. You don't poke the bear, or the lion, or whatever apex predator Tyson's channeling that day. But then Rogan dropped the hammer. Jake Paul is no Mike Tyson. Not even close, he admitted. The kid's got hustle. But stepping into the ring with Tyson, legend or not, would be a one-way ticket to the ER. I hope Jake's ego can take a punch, Rogan said, because his face definitely can't take Tyson's.